5 of these city council seats will now have new names and faces as Marietta's new mayor, city clerk, and 3 council members took their oath of office Monday morning. In Thackerville, only 16 people showed up to vote for town board member seats, and that's actually an increase in voter turnout compared to a 2021 election. Senate Bill 404 was signed into law earlier this week by Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt. It's designed to prevent discrimination against religious organizations when it comes to receiving state tax dollars. After 2 days in a Pontotoc County courtroom, Christy Evans, the Ada woman who pleaded guilty to first-degree murder earlier this year, was sentenced to life in prison with the possibility for parole. Once a house is considered dilapidated, homeowners will have the option to either take out the rundown house or redevelop it into a safe and livable space. Yeah, Tiger, a fire broke out at the Wynnewood refinery around 9 this morning. 2 employees were injured and they've been med-flighted for treatment, and all other employees have been accounted for. Now I'm going to step out of the shot for a second and give you guys a closer look at where this fire happened. It's just down the street from where I was standing. The road's been closed for a while since the fire happened, and county officials are thinking it'll be open here shortly. The source of the fire is isolated and emergency crews are working to extinguish it. County officials will conduct a thorough investigation into what caused this fire, but at this time it's unclear how the fire started this morning in Wynnewood. We'll have updated information on this fire as it becomes available on our website, k10.com. Live in Wynnewood, Lexy French, K10 News. Yeah, Abby, I'm here in Wilson near Highway 70. I spoke with the Carter County Emergency Management Director this morning, and he said most of the damage that's been reported from last night's storm here in Carter County has been in the Wilson and Healdton area. And for the most part, that's been damaged trees and downed power poles, along with some damage to roofs and a couple of barns in the county. Now, OG&E is reporting that around 8,000 customers are still without power this morning. They have crews out working to restore that power and fix those downed power poles. Coming up later today on K10, we'll take a look at some of the damage here in Carter County and in Love County. As you can see, there's debris scattered all over the place. People have been out working to clean up the area and provide some sort of relief to those impacted. We're keeping our eye on 2 races for Oklahoma U.S. Senate seats. Earlier this year, Senator Inhofe announced his plan to resign in January of 2023. Republican candidate Congressman Markwayne Mullin is running against former U.S. Representative and Democratic candidate Kendra Horn. OG&E estimates that Ardmore and Tishomingo will have power fully restored by Thursday night at 10. In Johnston County, more than 1,600 people are affected by outages, and in Carter County, more than 1,300 people are still without power. OG&E reported a peak of nearly 140,000 customers that lost power during Saturday night's storms. High winds caused down power lines and damage to other electrical equipment. Ardmore was one of the 3 cities hit hardest by storms. Officials say that a major challenge has been reaching rural areas where some transmission and distribution structures are not easily accessible. Bob Lasan, when businesses have to put up closed signs like this one, it impacts owners, employees, and service providers like hairstylists who may need those work hours to make ends meet. But with dangerous road conditions, safety is a top priority. Tiger, I've seen a good amount of voters showing up to the Culvert Ministry Center, a polling location in Ardmore. Poll workers inside tell me they've counted about 50 ballots so far since the polls opened this morning at 7. Yesterday, I spoke to 2 groups, one that wants to see recreational marijuana legalized and another that doesn't want to see State Question 820 passed. Both sides told me the importance of voter turnout today. Yeah, Tiger, as you can see, I'm here on Merrick Drive in Ardmore, and there is quite a bit of snow on the road, and it's still coming down a little bit. The Oklahoma Department of Transportation is strongly discouraging travel in most parts of the state today, and they're also asking that semi-trucks and trailers stay off of I-35 throughout the day due to the road conditions. Now, I spoke with the Carter County Emergency Management Director, and he told me they haven't received any reports of damage, but he's also encouraging people to stay home if they can and off of the roads. So, and it looks like most people are. There aren't too many drivers out today, which I have to say I'm a little jealous of because it is cold out here. A group of parents are asking for administrative changes at Ringling Public Schools after they say their children were targeted at school following the investigation into coach and principal Phil Coons.
I feel like I can't go to anybody for help. Okay, somebody breaks in your house, you're going to call the police. They're going to come help you. Somebody's been meeting your kid up here at school. Who are you going to call? Sorry, there's nobody to call.
Football coach and high school principal Philip Coons is currently on paid leave, while the OSBI investigates the verbal abuse accusations made by students in February.
That the senior class wants to, we want a normal class. We want a normal class period. We're tired of getting harassed by the teachers and staff. I'm quite frankly tired of getting targeted and told to be in a closet to complete edgenuity work. I'm tired of having thoughts of me not being good enough because these teachers.
A group of seniors planned a walkout protest Monday morning, but said teachers blocked the doors.
They're mostly concerned about that for the main reason it's going to ruin the reputation of their football program and their funding. I do feel like they're retaliating against me. While I was in that closet and stuff, the accountant closet in the office and stuff, I can hear the secretary and they were whispering and they'd warned other teachers coming in, oh, I'm in the closet and stuff, don't say anything out loud, and yet I still hear their whispers.
In a statement, the Mercer law firm said their team now represents 10 victims of Coach Coons' child abuse and civil rights violations. Attorney Todd Mercer went on to say that the school board chose potential football wins with Coach Coons over the safety and well-being of students, and that his removal is the only acceptable result.
They need to step up for these kids. It's long overdue.
The administration office said the superintendent was not available for comment, and we haven't received a call back from their office. In the Ardmore newsroom, Lexy French, K10 News. ODOT is moving forward with plans to redesign the intersection of U.S. Highway 377 and State Highway 22 in Tishomingo, where multiple fatal crashes have happened in recent years.
Yes, I believe it should be safer. The 6 little girls passed away, and that was a very bad tragedy.
ODOT has selected a consulting firm and expects a notice to proceed later this month. They also expect to receive the National Transportation Safety Board's final report on the 6-fatality crash that happened last March.
It's important that we incorporate the findings of it into the project and make sure that we address any deficiencies that were found.
By the end of the year, the public will be presented with multiple design concepts.
We believe that a roundabout's uniquely well suited at that location, but we're not in the business of telling a town what's best for them.
During the public meeting, which is expected to be scheduled later this year, ODOT will explain the costs of the project and how it could affect adjacent property owners.
This project being of high priority, and as promised, we're delivering on an accelerated time frame. So we believe that we can put this to construction in 2026.
The department has taken multiple interim safety measures, such as lowering the speed limit and adding flashing lights at the Y intersection. In Tishomingo, Lexy French, K10 News. The Toy and Action Figure Museum is one piece of what makes Pauls Valley such a charming small town and brings people in to see what else the city has to offer.
But we created something here that was different and unique that people from all over the world have been here to check out.
The museum draws action figure collectors and people looking to experience something new.
You turn the corner here and you kind of see this behind me and you can just hear the people go, whoa, or wow, and we love that. We always wait for it. Okay, there it is.
Another Pauls Valley must-see is Fields Pies.
Back in 1922, when my grandmother started making pies and cakes in her house and took them to the restaurant we had downtown. And then as it got bigger, she started making them for all the restaurants in Garvin County.
The company continued to grow over the last 100 years.
We do some co-packing for other manufacturers. We make probably 50 to 60% of the pecan pies made in the United States, from New York to California. It's pretty unique that in a small town like Pauls Valley, we make a lot of the pecan pies, in the nation.
Stark was surprised to hear about Pauls Valley's nomination.
I was actually amazed by that because, these are communities all over. It's not just in Garvin County or not just in Oklahoma, but these are communities from, a large area of the country.
People can vote for Best Southern Small Town nominees through February 20th. You can find a link to vote on our website, k10.com. In Pauls Valley, Lexy French, K10 News. 50-year-old Kevin Shellman, an inmate at the Jackie Brannon Correctional Center in McAllister, escaped sometime around 2:30 this afternoon. According to the Oklahoma Department of Corrections, Shellman was apprehended on prison grounds just before 7 this evening. Shellman is serving 2 15-year sentences for obscene, threatening, or harassing phone calls, and 1 10-year sentence for assault and battery on a police officer. Today, Governor Kevin Stitt called for the resignation of McCurtain County Sheriff Kevin Clardy, District 2 Commissioner Mark Jennings, Investigator Alicia Manning, and Jail Administrator Larry Hendricks, following comments recorded after a county commissioners meeting on March 6th. The governor released a statement saying, quote, "I am both appalled and disheartened to hear of the horrid comments made by officials in McCurtain County." The hunt for a Texas man who allegedly shot 5 of his neighbors is ramping up tonight as the community gathers to mourn the youngest victim, just 8 years old. Late today, authorities announced an $80,000 reward for any information leading to his arrest. Priscilla Thompson has the latest from Cleveland, Texas. A fire destroyed a mobile home in Denison this afternoon. Several fire departments responded to a fire at the Oak Creek RV and mobile home park. Residents said they could smell natural gas around the unit before hearing an explosion. It's believed the tenant had not been in the unit for about a week. According to the city of Durant, Shirelli Construction was unable to make progress on the University Boulevard project this past week. 3 people were killed in a shooting at an Oklahoma City bar on Saturday night. Police said shots rang out at Whiskey Barrel Saloon around 9 p.m. 3 people were pronounced dead at the scene and 3 others were injured and taken to hospitals. Well, we've seen some nice weather this weekend, but definitely feeling effects of allergy season. Hunter, what can we expect this week? In Texas, the mayor of El Paso is expected to issue a state of emergency Monday to stop the influx of migrants to the city. That's ahead of the end of Title 42, which is a COVID-era border restriction. The mayor says the emergency declaration is primarily to help with public shelter and public housing. Police in Texas are looking for suspects who shot and killed a number of cows around San Antonio. Camelia Juarez reports.